G'day, Russ here, how you going? Hope everyone had a great long weekend for Easter and managed to get out fishing somewhere and get onto a few. But unfortunately, where I was looking to go at Portland, all 4 days was just really nasty weather and I couldn't go at all. But luckily, I had the Tuesday off work and that was starting to look really good. So I got onto my mate Justin, who lives in Portland, and told him to keep an eye on the weather and said if the swell settles down, we'll go. And he rang me up Monday night and said things were looking good and the report had even improved since the day before. So we made the decision to head out of Portland at 7 in the morning, try and get some bait in the harbour, and then go out off Cape Nelson where they've been getting some big tuna. And my plan was to bottom bounce, and if some tuna action fired up, like we see birds diving or see boats trolling around and getting hookups, we had 4 rods with skirts and lures on ready to go. But we got out there and there was no tuna action that day. All the people that caught big barrels, they were over at Bridgewater or out off the shelf, and we just weren't going that far. But we decided to pull up and have a bottom bounce on a couple of marks I've got, about 55 metres, and straight away a seal rocked up and ripped off our first 3 fish of the day. It got 2 pinkies and then a really good nanny guy. So we had to pull up and move, and the seal followed us, so we had to move again. And then I thought, bugger it, we put the lures out for about half an hour and just trawled around to try and lose the seal. Then eventually we pulled up, dropped down and started getting onto good fish, and without the seal harassing us. So my original plan was just to take the GoPros out and see where I'd like them set up in the boat. Like I put one on the rocket launcher and had one on my head. And it was a good learning experience because I found out the one on the rocket launcher just wasn't in a good position and all of the footage was unusable. And I was pretty lucky I took it though, because the one on my head, I didn't realise I'd gone kayak fishing and caught nothing and forgot to wipe the memory card. So the memory card ran out on my head cam early, but I was just able to swap the cameras over and keep going. So at first I was just going to have a look at the footage and see how I went and that. But because we caught some good fish, I decided to try and edit it together and see how we go. So I didn't really do an intro or anything like that, and that's why I'm doing one now. And through the day I didn't really talk about my gear or what my setups were, because I was just focusing on seeing where I wanted the cameras and seeing if the footage turned out any good. So I'll go through now what gear we're using, and then you can have a look how the day went. So yeah, it was pretty good. So the 3 rods that I generally use out in the boat, I have my 2 pen overhead setups that I use for trawling and bottom bouncing. They're mid-range combos. I got them from BCF. I really rate them. They haven't let me down. The 30-pound one is 6 foot, and the 20-pound one I think is 6'8", and they're perfect boat rods. And you might think they are a little bit heavy for catching your pinkies and nanny guys and things like that, but when you're using size 12 and even sometimes size 16 sinkers to get down, well, you've got to have enough guts in the rod to be able to take the weight of the sinker and what fish you catch. And it's good because if you do get onto that big schoolie or gummy, you've got the guts in the rod to be able to handle it. And this little Shimano 15-pound setup I've got, I just run barrel lures off it, and I run them through the harbour and around Lawrence Rock, and that's what I pick up me cooter and me snook for fresh bait. So yeah, I love getting fresh bait through the harbour, or even trawling around the corkscrew for a salmon or just something fresh. And if I don't get them trawling, well then once we're bottom bouncing, I put out a small rod with small baits, and you'll pick up your wrasse and goatfish and other things like that that you can put on for a fresh bait. So I find that having a variety of fresh baits really works well. But on my 20-pound setup, I've got about 1,000 metres of 20-pound braid and a 60-pound leader, and I was fishing that with size 5 circle hooks on snapper snatcher rigs. They were just pre-made bought rigs. And on the 30-pound setup, I've got about 700 metres of 30-pound, again with about a 20 metre, 60-pound leader. I like using about 20 metre leaders 10 to 20 metre leaders, just for two reasons. One, as you're drifting, a fair bit of your line can come in contact with rocks and things like that, so it's good to have that abrasive proof leader that can rub on the rocks. And two, throughout the day, if you get tangles or bit of rub, you can snip off 3 or 4 meters, and you're not trying to tie your FG knots out in the boat. So on the 30-pound setup, I was just using size 6 circles on a 50-pound rig that I made myself, and I generally fish bigger baits, obviously on the 30-pound, hoping for that gummy or big snapper, and I fish the smaller ones for the reef fish on the 20-pound. But you'll find out there things like your nanny guy and your ocean perch, they're not afraid to smash a massive bait that you think is way too big for them, and they'll still take them. These are the 4 rods that we had ready for the tuna, but like I said, we had no tuna action, but we did trawl for a little bit just to try and get away from the seal, and I suppose you never know your luck. But what we're trawling on this big old pen setup that was my dad's, about a about a 10-inch big skirt there, and we had on one of these shallow diving high-speed trawling lures, a Rapala red bait X-Wrap that's a deep diver about 9 meters, and a smaller skirt. So I'm just new to trawling for tuna. I know that some people have their theories on what spread you got to have and everything like that, but I just think, well, if I have 2 divers out, I'll have them at different depths, like one at 3 meters, one at 6 or 8 meters, and then if I'm going to have 2 skirts out, I'll put out a big one and a small one, and that way you're sort of covering your range of depths and also covering what size, because some days the reports come in that the tuna are on the little skirts, and some days they're on the massive skirts. So I'm just seeing what works best, and I thought, well, if I've got a good variation, I might be more of a chance for a hookup. Well, there you go. So that's the gear that we're using. Now you can have a look at some of the fish we caught. I didn't put in every fish, but I put in some of the good ones and some of the ones that had decent footage of. And next time I go out on the boat, I'll definitely be running through what gear I'm using, what baits we're using, and how we're trying to catch them. All right, thanks for watching.
Oh, there's a couple of fish down there.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's not really good, so.
Yeah. I'm probably going to be up against enough things today, let alone a seal parked out the back of the boat. Yeah. First 5 minutes of the day. Don't know if we really needed that.
Not necessarily, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
It's coming up awfully heavy. Oh, we'll eat that. We'll eat that one. First fish of the day, an ocean perch. Beautiful, eaten fresh. Got tons of ice in here.
Oh no, he's on the what?
Ah.
You're on there.
Oh, how's that not going? I got something small. I get the small one. Here, I got a pinky. He didn't get that one.
No. No, that's okay.
I reckon his size. Let's have a look. Oh, he's well oversized.
Where are his snips?
It was a bit like that before. I picked it up, held it for 30 seconds. Yeah. This feels better than that, so I'm swapping. I don't know. Oh, I think it's a pinky. Ah.
Oh. That.
No. No, as soon as I hooked it, I felt the head shake, so I'm like, well, I'm swapping rods because I knew the other one had a ocean perch on it. Beautiful nanny guy. Look at that mouth. No. What was that? I actually didn't think it was a bite. I thought we were just fighting each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, well, we'll see what this fish is, because that just fully bent the rod over then. Maybe put another bait on.
Alright.
This is a decent fish. If it's an ocean perch, we won't worry about it, but... Oh yeah,
What do you got?
nice pinky.
Oh, he's alright too.
Yeah, we'll have another drop. He's got beautiful colours on him.
You know, right.
What's he? 38.
38.
Yeah, he's going in the bin.
That's alright.
This is actually a good fish, eh?
Yeah, that felt better than it was. I didn't want to kill him or something.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
So do I. He's still alright. That's a good pinky. He'd be 40.
Oh, easy. Easy for you.
I was getting bites on this.
Yeah. There's a better fish. I reckon I had 2 rock collar rods up better. I felt better, you know what I mean? Like, big.
Well, there you go.
A goatfish.
Double header. Ocean perch and a goatfish. Oh shit.
Decent hit.
Yeah, it's just bent over.
That's reasonable.
Yeah. It's a pinky or something. Here's a good one.
Here's a good one, eh?
Oh, got a bite as soon as that hit the bottom.
That's promising.
Yeah. Oh well. Better than a kick in the ass.
No. Come on. Don't fuck me again.
After losing 2 snapper and a nanny guy to the seal, I'm just happy to get something in the boat.
That's a good hit though, straight up, eh?
No, I've got colour. A nanny guy.
Nanny guy.
I'll take an accidental nanny guy. Look at, geez, they've made a mess of it.
Yeah. Little tackle on it.
Yeah, no, but look how tangled it is.
Yeah, I know.
Oh. Well, there you go. Was it?
Up, mate.
What?
What you got? Oh, that's a big.
Yeah. Oh, it's a shame. I dropped the tiny ocean perch that was on the other hook. Oh. All right, we'll give this spot a few more minutes.
Yeah.
That was a very lucky lift. Look at that.
Wonder.
He just wasn't putting up a fight. He was bloody just coming up, upside down. That's the third time today. Nanny guy that I didn't know I had on. That was just sitting there, like since you said that had a good bite.
Just sitting there on it.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? 3 times in the day. Oh well. This is alright too.
Yeah.
Another nanny. And a wrasse. That fat boy took a bit of going.
Righto.
Yeah. Double nannies.
Double nannies.
Where are we in relation to that mark? Oh yeah, right on the nanny guy mark. It's funny how they hold in those spots.
Oh, get rid of that.
What?
Just go then on a big rock.
Alright. You got bugger all, we'll wind in and... Oh! Jesus, I had a massive bite.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna drop this again.
Yeah, no, we're not going anywhere. This is massive.
Is it?
Yeah. Might actually get you to get the net for me. It's running line on me 30 pound. Good snapper this. I reckon this might be 50 plus. I've got a fair way to go yet. See a bit of colour?
Yeah. Don't know what it is.
A good snapper.
Really good snapper.
Yes. That's a ripper.
Yeah, he's good.
Alright, we're going to stay here for a little bit longer, Justin.
Yeah, no, he's alright, eh?
Yeah. Ah, well over 50.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's 50 on the dot. Oh, 50 centimetre pinky. Bloody beautiful. Well, there we go. Not a bad day fishing on the reef. We got 5 nanny guy, 9 pinky snapper with the biggest being 51. We got our bag limit of ocean perch and 1 mowong, a blue throat wrasse and a bearded cod. So all up, a pretty good day. There was no tuna action out where we were, so the lures stayed in the boat most of the day. We did get harassed by a seal, but overall can't complain with that for a feed. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.